Welcome to the 88th episode of Lalitha Divya Rahasya Sahasranama Stotra. The 1000 namas of Lalitha Sahasranama are densely packed with various layers of hidden secrets. There are various layers of information. The top layer may just exhibit the energy form, the training to the faculties or the karmacharana, the external action. There are more hidden layers in addition to that. Lalitha Sahasranama spans the history of time to the highest accuracy and precision, that covers from the previous world, that means prior to the Kruta Yuga, the world that was existing in Mars, the generations of that world, Mars world, and subsequently the formation of the earth, starting from Kruta Yuga all the way to Kali Yuga, up to 12 generations in Kali Yuga. It covers perhaps the only scripture, arguably only scripture that can cover the history of time to such a vast extent. And not only that, covering this time scale with such a highest accuracy and precision. So there's so much hidden layers, densely packed information. Lalitha Sahasranama is not just chanting namas. There's much more to it. That's why it is derived from what is known as Brahmanda Purana. So Anda is a circle, Brahmanda is a big circle. It's like a super circle. So it encompasses everything. So Lalitha Sahasranama encompasses everything. So let us move on. So we have just encountered in the previous episodes the end of Mars world through Maheswar Maha Kalpa Maha Tandava Sakshini. Subsequently, that was coincided with the passing away of Mahayogi, who has performed astonishing acts. His body was visited by Universal Mother and Universal Father. So the next nama is Maha chathushashti koti yogini gana sevitha. The body of Mahayogi, which is devoid of the soul energy, is being worshipped by Universal Mother and Universal Father. Universal Mother has decorated the body with 64 fine arts in the previous nama, that is Chathushashti Kalamayi. So after that, she exits from the body. The Universal Mother, along with the Universal Father, exits from the body of the Mahayogi. Now, subsequently, the souls of 64 crores of yoginis' souls visit the body of Mahayogi through Maha chathushashti koti yogini gana sevitha. So they worship. So these 64 crore souls of they are souls. They are subordinates. They are servants. They report to Universal Mother. So they worship the body of Mahayogi through Maha chathushashti koti yogini gana sevitha. This is one sloka and one nama. So prior to this, the Tripura Sundari, who is the Universal Mother, the form of the Universal Mother, herself performed the rituals, 64 rituals, followed by 64 decoration with the 64 fine arts. So the 64 fine arts expand into the 64 crore subordinates. So that means each fine art is represented by 1 crore. 1 crore yoginis. So from this it is clear that subordinates of Tripura Sundari, there are 64 of them, and each of them are having further 1 crore subordinates. So this tells us the hierarchy of Tripura Sundari. Tripura Sundari, under her there are 64 subordinates. Under each of them, in each of the subordinates, there are 1 crore of them. So this is a hierarchy, and so all of them are worshipping the body of this Mahayogi in the same order as the hierarchy. Tripura Sundari followed by the 64 subordinates of the Tripura Sundari, and followed by the subordinates of the subordinate subordinate are worshipping the body of the Mahayogi through Maha chathushashti koti yogini gana sevitha. So it was said that in Sri Chakra, which is the which is a symbolic representation of the practicing of the energy or the concentrated form of the energy, Kundalini energy. So in the 3 chakra there are 9 chakras known as Trilokya Mohan chakras. Chakra means wheel. So there are 9 wheels within the Sri Chakra. The symbolic representation of the energy concentration. So there are 9 chakras within that, and it was said in Tantra Raja, a scripture known as Tantra Raja, that each of these Trilokya Mohan chakra, there are 9 crore, there are 7 crore yoginis. That means there are 7 crore subordinates of Universal Mother protecting each of these Trilokya Mohana chakra. So 9 chakras, 9 Trilokya Mohan chakras, and 7 crore for each of these chakras. So then it becomes 9 into 7, 9 multiplied by 7, that is 63 crores. And the dot, the center of this Sri Chakra, which is controlling the whole activity, the energy concentration mechanism, is having another 1 crore. So total it becomes 64 crores, and this was been highlighted in the scripture known as Tantra Raja. So it says, Lalita Chakra Navake Prachekam Sektaya Priye Chathushashti Mita Kotya. So therefore the body of Mahayogi is equivalent to the worshipping of Sri Chakra. So body of Mahayogi is equal to Sri Chakra. So that's why there's so much of hierarchy is being followed, and that's why there are these 64 crore yoginis also worship the body of the Mahayogi. So through Maha Chatushashti Koti yogini gana sevitha, the faculty of personality of all these 64 crore yoginis and their hierarchy all the way to Universal Mother, that is Tripura Sundari, is exhibited. So through this Nama Maha chathushashti koti yogini gana sevitha, the faculty of personality is being trained. The next Nama is Manu vidya. So Manu vidya is a transformation that happened, the transformation of Mahasana into Manu vidya. So prior to performing the ritual of Mahayaga, the faculty of mind of Mahayogi merged into what is known as Mahasana. So the mind oscillation of Mahayogi is limited to Mahasana, constrained to the Mahasana. Oscillation of mind of Mahayogi is constrained to Mahasana. So after the performing the rituals to the Mahayogi, body of the Mahayogi, which is devoid of the soul energy, so the mind, the faculty of mind of Mahayogi now transforms from Mahasana and then gets uplifted and then becomes Manu vidya. So it was very clearly said, described in our scriptures that the soul which is departing the body, that means at the time of death, so those individuals who are departing from this world, the last thing that their mind is anchored to, so the next birth, the soul, the departed soul will choose that particular taste on which the mind is anchored. The last thing that the departed soul, prior to the departure of the soul, the last thing that mind was anchored to or hooked on to, the departed soul will carry that is called vasana, or carry that residual taste, and the next birth will pursue that particular taste. So this is obvious. I mean, this is for the ordinary souls, but Mahayogi is an extraordinary soul. So he is beyond these tastes. So whatever the faculties that he has, whatever the body that he left behind, so everything is for the benefit of the universe. Everything is towards the growth of the universe. Everything of all the belongings of Mahayogi is towards enriching the universe. So it is called Paropakarardham idam sariram. So Mahayogi exactly follows the same. So the Mahayogi, the mind of Mahayogi, prior to the departure, where was it oscillating? It was oscillating through Mahasana. The mind of Mahayogi is oscillating through Mahasana, passing the information to the Universal Mother, invoking the Universal Mother to be seated in Mahasana. So Mahayogi's mind is anchored to or hooked on to Universal Mother. So as part of this locking mechanism, Universal Mother has entered and um, perform the rituals to the body of Mahayogi. And after the completion of this ritual, that is once the stability was given to the body of Mahayogi, then this Mahasana got terminated, and through that Mahasana, the Manu vidya was initiated. So Manu vidya is essentially a technique of practicing of Sri Vidya, that is practicing of the technique of practicing of Kundalini vidya. So at this point in time, the next universe was not being formed. So this was end of the world in Mars, and when this Manu vidya was started, initiated, the next world was not even it was not even born. So therefore, now it was said in Maheshwara Mahakalpa Mahatandava Sakshini, while explaining the Kalpa and Mahakalpa, that is the completion of the circle of all the Sankalpas and Vikalpas, that is Mahakalpa. The completion of the circle is essentially the oscillation of the mind of all the living beings. So therefore, through Manu vidya, that means at least one so that means an oscillation of the Mahayogi is completed, of the mind. So it explains that at least one Mahakalpa is over by this through this Nama, that is Manu vidya. That means when Mahasana is terminated into Manu vidya, it's transformed and terminated into Manu vidya. That means the one oscillation of the mind of Mahayogi is completed. So that is an indication of at least one Mahakalpa is over. And when was this got over? Through Maheshwara Mahakalpa Mahatandava Sakshini, it got over. So essentially it also means this the energy of Maheshwara Mahakalpa Mahatandava Sakshini, it is ever going process, because it's terminating with E. So in this particular case, it so happened there is a super alignment that is happening, but at any given point in time there is always there is some kind of alignment happening with Mahayogi. So this Maheshwara Mahakalpa Mahatandava Sakshini is ever happening. That means the Jupiter is always subjected to the disturbances. There is always some magnetic disturbances that are happening in Jupiter, and whenever there is a disturbance happens, that is Maheshwara Mahakalpa Mahatandava Sakshini. When that disturbance is too high and beyond the limit, then it is end of the world. So the soul of the Mahayogi, after departing from the body, where did it go? So the answer to this question is Maheshwara Mahakalpa Mahatandava Sakshini, the magnetic storm that was created, the super alignment of all the small circles of all the living beings aligning to the big circle of Mahayogi. Mahayogi triggering the magnetic storm. So that was an indicator, that was a GPS. So the soul of Mahayogi must have reached Jupiter with all these records of the world of Mars. So that's about this Nama, Manu vidya, and In the scripture known as Gnanarnava, it was mentioned about Manu vidya. Manuschandra kuberascha lopamudracha manmadha agasti ragni suryascha indraskandha sivasthada krodha bhattarako devyadya dasami upasako. So these are the various ways of worshipping the Sri Vidya, that is the Kundalini Vidya. Manuschandra kuberascha lopamudracha manmatha agasti ragni suryascha indraskanda sivasthada krodha bhattarako devyadya dasami upasako. So these are the various ways of practicing and getting trained in the Sri Vidya. The next nama is Chandra Vidya, Manu Vidya, Chandra Vidya. So it was, as just pointed out in Grana Nava, Manuschandra. So Manu Vidya is one of the Sri Vidya technique. The next Vidya is Chandra Vidya. So all these two, Manu Vidya and Chandra Vidya, got originated from the body of Mahayogi, who departed from the world of Mars and reached planet Jupiter. So Chandra Vidya is this technique got originated from the moon that was present in Sahasrara of Mahayogi, body of Mahayogi. So this technique was originated through the oscillation of the moon. The process of oscillation of the moon in Sahasrara of Mahayogi, through that this Chandra Vidya got originated. So as was said, that all the belongings of Mahayogi, they are used for the benefit of the universe, towards the enrichment of the universe, and Chandra Vidya is one such technique. So when this Maheshwar Mahakalpa Mahatandava Sakshini, when this process happened, that is the magnetic storm happened, it was mentioned that the moon in Sahasrara of Mahayogi went through the thermal cycles of hot and cold. And these thermal cycles prompted the Tandava of Mahadeva. So the Tandava is essentially the dance, the rhythmic dance that is called Tandava. A dance in a regular, in a systematic manner, giving the vibrations of energy, positive energy, that is called Tandava. Then Mahatandava is a superlative posture of this dancing. So the oscillation of Mahatandava, since it is a time-varying act, the Mahatandava is a time-varying act. The oscillation of the moon is also time-varying act. Then the oscillation of the mind of Mahayogi is also time-varying. So each of them are having oscillation. So the Mahatandava oscillation, the oscillation of thermal cycles of the moon in Sahasrara of Mahayogi, and the mind oscillation of Mahayogi, all are same. The frequency of this oscillation, or all these three oscillations are same, or the time period is same. Because Mahasana is located in the Sahasrara of Mahayogi itself, located in Sahasrara of Mahayogi. So So through this Mahasana, the Manu vidya technique got originated, and moon is the witness for that. Similarly, the mind of the moon was prompted. So after the performance of the ritual to the body of the Mahayogi, then this mind of the moon in sahasrara of Mahayogi, it transforms to Chandra vidya, a technique known as Chandra vidya, which is one of the Sri vidya practicing or worshipping technique. So it was subsequently, this technique is much more popular, became much more popular, and it is known as Shodasha vidya. So that means the moon has practiced this Sri vidya technique in 16 different ways. That's why moon is also known as Shodasha Kala Sampanna. The various phases of the moon are essentially there are various ways in which he has implemented this technique called Chandra vidya. So moon is the first entity that has introduced this Shodasa vidya in the form of Chandra vidya to the entire universe that is going to be formed. That means to the habitants of the earth, he has introduced this technique. Moon got so much influence with this technique that the thermal cycles that he went through during the magnetic storm of end of Mars, so he still practiced that even till today in the form of the two phases, that is the full moon phase, that is called Sukla Paksha, and then the new moon phase, that means the increasing and the decreasing phase. Increasing phase is called Sukla Paksha, which is the full moon phase. The decreasing phase is called the Krishna Paksha or the new moon phase. So these are the two phases that he went through, the thermal cycles that he went through during the Maheshwara Mahakalpa Mahatandava Sakshini, and subsequently he has transformed that into Chandra vidya, the practicing technique of Sri vidya, so that he is practicing that even till today, and through moon we are getting that Shodasha vidya. So during the full moon, the attractive force of the Jupiter, the effect of the attraction of Jupiter on moon gets magnified. That means moon is under the influence of magnetic attraction of the Jupiter during the full moon phase. During the new moon phase, the opposite happens, that there is a repulsive force between the moon and the Jupiter. So this kind of explains the effect of Maheshwara Mahakalpa Mahatandava Sakshini on the moon. So to what extent he went through this thermal cycle. Okay, so the next namas we will explore in the next episode. Thank you.